the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
This was always going to happen because the popularity of Ozempic has taken off. We know that. When 60 Minutes are doing stories on it, I think Channel 7 even did a whole special on it as well. And Hollywood stars are coming out endorsing Ozempic. It takes off. Not cheap. A lot of people using it. Now, this is what happens when something is popular like that. But people become addicted to it, and then you have problems. So they're talking at the moment, Scott Disick, which Kardashian was he married to?
Courtney.
Kate?
No, not Courtney.
Chloe.
Courtney.
So he has finally
and they have
decided...
children.
He's handed himself in. He is seeking help for his Ozempic use after he has left his friends and family shocked by his appearance. He looks gaunt. He has large black bags under his eyes. He doesn't look healthy.
Got that sunken eye look, doesn't he? Because his face is a bit skull-like.
I do think that photo we're looking at is a bit doctored.
I would assume is the perfect photo for the story, yeah.
13-24-10. Do you know something? Do you know someone that this is happening to? A mate of mine, his wife, he was actually really down talking to me about this the other day, but he said... Mate, Fitz, to the point now where she will not come to the restaurant with me because she doesn't eat anything. Oh. And the worst thing about it is I'm glad that now that she's got control of her eating, but she's sick, she's nauseous, and she has that feeling, and then that affects her mood, but she's now become addicted to it.
Yeah. And are you addicted to the drug itself, or are you addicted to the effects of the drug? Do you know what I mean?
The feeling of skinny?
You look, the feeling
Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
Yeah. In a similar way to perhaps you're addicted to going to the gym and working out, and you see some results, and then you cannot not go to the gym.
Progress.
Or the solarium. In the old days, you couldn't keep people out of the solarium.
The thing that gets me down about it is that we've always reacted to our body in the way that we feel. So whenever you feel nauseous or you feel sick in the stomach, you instantly know there's something wrong.
Yeah, it's trying to tell you something.
My body's trying to tell me something, and it's the worst feeling ever. Then you sit down and you try to, you drink water and you try to get through that. But to feel like that all the time, I think you're right, Kate. People are becoming addicted or acclimatising to that feeling of nausea, and they can get their body through it. Well, and now that's become the norm for them. They're looking better in the mirror, but now it's going to a new level.
In their eyes, they're looking better in the mirror.
Do you know, it's kind of the conversation around Ozempic sort of changed, hasn't it? Because it's gone from, hey, how good's this wonder drug? Apparently diabetics had it, to, oh my God, this has actually filtered its way into general society. And then there was chat about, yes, the side effects where you feel nauseous and also it's coming out the other end. And now it's like, we don't know much about this long term.
No. Well, anything that you take that is going to affect your metabolism, if you're not fueling your body
it's got to have a knock-on
correctly, there are long-term effects not only on your physical health but your mental health.
Well, remember I told you the other day I went to the doctor and I said, I want to have a heart checkup, and he gave me a referral to the cardiologist. And on the referral it said his weight remains an issue, talking about me. What then followed in that conversation at the doctor was they recommended a possible drug to help with weight loss. Don't give me that crap. I don't need that.
Yeah, I agree with
some
you, mate.
people do need it. I don't think I need it.
No.
That's why you guys jump in and go, you're not that big.
You can still carry a few extra, but also have a very healthy lifestyle and still feel great about yourself.
Well, that's the thing. And if I was ever lost in the Himalayas, these stores of fat around my mid would help me survive.
Mate, there'd be some great rump steaks coming off your clacker, that's for sure.
You know what I mean? So it can come in handy if I'm ever caught in Kosciuszko.
Wherever you are in your life and whatever age you are, if you are having, if you're kind of consistent around health and exercise, and everything is about moderation, then I think your body naturally will find where it sits in its most healthy state.
Okay. Can we please... All right, I want to ask, are you worried about a friend? Are you someone who's using Ozempic and you're feeling that you are becoming addicted to it? You need it all the time? Do you think you can wean yourself off it? Claudia's given us a call from Riverstone. Tell us about your experience with it, Claudia.
I think it's a bit of both, positive and negative. I can see why people get addicted to it, because when you do go on it, you can lose weight so quickly. But also, I've seen the scary side of the side effects as well, because I go on it and I get off it because I do faint from it, and I do feel quite sick being on it.
Claudia, you've been on it. You had rapid weight loss. How many kilos did you lose?
25 kilos.
Wow. Over what time period?
Nearly a year, a bit less than a year.
Okay. And then you went off for a while, did you?
Yep, and now I went back on it again.
And why did you go back on? Did the weight come back?
The weight didn't come back on, but you weren't losing it as quickly as you like. So then you think, oh gosh, I can't do without Ozempic. I need to get back on it again because I want that look like, oh wow, I am losing weight quite quickly.
So you fainted a couple of times, Claudia. Are you worried? Do you feel healthy, or are there moments where the nausea is just too much for you?
It sometimes does get scary because you do get quite nauseous and you feel quite ill, and then you go, why are you doing this to yourself? And then you think, oh, because there is somewhat health benefits. You are losing weight. I've lowered my blood pressure medication because of it. And you think of the positive, and then you go, but is it really worth it long term?
What does your day on a plate look like? Are you eating much at all?
No, I'll have a morning, like a meal replacement shake for breakfast, some grapes at lunch, and then a bit of steak at dinner. That's about all, really.
Okay. Good effort. Not much. Okay. I'm hungry.
Sarah in Willoughby, all right, tell us about... Oh, you're a PT, so can you tell us about some of your clients? How's that going, Sarah?
So I think that it's a bit up and down. So I've got clients who have used it because it's been advised by their medical team.
Yep.
And I'll speak of one client specifically because I know that she doesn't mind me sharing her story.
Sure.
She is PCOS. She's insulin resistant, so not diabetic. But also, I can, like, when you think about health as an overall, I guess, in the whole approach is, diet, exercise, all those sort of things. And so her body was basically resisting against all those things. So that she's tried the Ozempic. And I watched her literally because my gym that I own is upstairs. So she would literally claw her way up the stairs with little energy to try to get through a training session. She'd be nauseous, she'd be unwell, she wasn't able to eat.
God.
And just like the girl just spoke then, is that she's not eating much at all. And then if you're trying to think about, back to basics, energy in versus energy out, you can't output energy and exercise and look after your health if you're not eating. So
nothing in the tank.
What happened for her was she was barely eating 400 calories a day, but she wasn't losing the weight either because her body just wasn't accepting it. So she, I think, persisted for about 11 weeks. Oh. And in that 11 weeks, her determination to still try and do what she was trying to do, because she was trying to lose weight because she wants to have a baby because of PCOS. Yeah. And it ended up having a really bad negative effect on her, because now that she's not on it, it's taken her it's been about 6 months maybe since she's been off it, and it's taken her body so long to bounce back
to
from
recover,
that.
Yeah. So, thank you for your story, Sarah. That's unbelievable.
That's full on. Denise in Newport, you had some drastic side effects with Ozempic. Is that getting on it or getting off it, Denise?
It was actually while I was on it. I ended up losing about 8 kilos, which was great.
Yeah.
But I ended up going to the doctor and having a blood test, and it actually affected my liver.
Yeah.
In what way?
So, I ended up having some of the function. Yeah. So my doctor recommended go off it, and as soon as I went off it, I actually ballooned.
Right.
Wow.
The weight came back.
And more?
The weight came back with a vengeance, yeah.
Right.
Back.
Over what period of time did you stack it rapidly?
Probably for about 6 months.
Okay.
Afterwards. And it was, and then I've been on another diet, which has worked amazingly. And it's kept the weight off. But it's just...
And is that a healthy diet, or is that a drug, Denise?
Oh, no, healthy. Very healthy diet.
Great.
Like eating 6 times a day, small meals. But basically it just speeds your metabolism up, which is amazing.
Well, I mean, if you had to go through that to find something that works, that's awesome. Well done. Well done to those out there fighting the bulge.
Well, look, it's been negative towards it. Sue's actually, she recommends it. She's on the line now. What are your experiences with Ozempic, Sue?
Yeah, I had really high blood pressure. I was passing out at work all the time. And so my doctor said to me, and I was a bit overweight, not massively, but he said, I'm going to try you on Ozempic and see if we can get some weight off and lower your blood pressure. My blood pressure's gone down. I'm not having any more giddy attacks. I was on the full dose of Ozempic, which I lost 19 kilos since January. And now I'm back to having just half a dose, and I feel fantastic. My appetite is a bit suppressed, but I only eat what I feel like eating. I don't push myself to eat, but I still eat healthy, and I feel great.
That's the thing.
It's been really good.
If there's education around it, I think it can work, can't it? Because if you need weight loss to lower other levels within your body, but you know it's a temporary fix, which is going to be part of an educational program.
Yeah, but look, I think, like with most drugs, there are parts of the community that are going to misuse it, and I think that's where the issues are.
I'm a little bit worried about doctors prescribing it. This is the thing. Now, look, for diabetics and for people that need it in their life, obviously that's what it was prescribed for. But if you were prescribed it, Whip, I just don't.
No, not me.
I don't understand that. That just. I don't know, it gets me down. I feel like it's a quick fix for a doctor, but you trust that profession. That's something that I don't think that needs to be prescribed.
You just need to think it is something foreign, and if there's other ways of doing it as a healthy option, then maybe so, depending on your size.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Got a phenomenal story. It dates back in time, but it's about one man in his backyard sitting in a garden chair who decided to come up with something that shocked the world. He was lucky to survive. That story in 15.
I want to talk about nicknames because I even just reading the article, I lolled in the...
Oh, you lolled a bit, did you?
I lolled in the Home Office because I think the most... Okay, I don't like nicknames when people have given themselves nicknames.
Yeah.
But I love a nickname, and it's a bit mean, but that the person who you've nicknamed doesn't know it's their nickname. And it's just a little joke between friends like, we call such and such up the corridor. I'll give you an example because I'm not doing it very well, am I? So give us a call if you've got a funny name for someone at work, and then we can reveal what we call Whipper behind his back. It's hilarious.
That's what I was sort of waiting for, because I noted that on the ideas list. And then we can reveal to Whipper what we call him. So we'll wait.
Well, I don't speak like that.
You're repeating the joke.
We'll get a drum roll for that, Jess, for when that... Not yet, Jess.
No, not yet.
We'll do that at the end.
Hang on for that. That's hilarious. I've got a few here just to get the ball rolling. If you've got one, give us a call. They've surveyed all these people. So there's one guy, and I don't know, he's got a very busy street, but doesn't know the name of the neighbours except for the nickname. So they call one guy the Torch up the road. He's now moved on, which is probably for the best, because there was no do-it-yourself job around the house or around the yard that he wasn't prepared to set himself on fire for. Awesome. So they called him the Torch. I love this one. We had a dead Dave down the street because no one had seen Dave for a while, so everyone thought he died. Oh, did you know Dave died? No, he didn't die. But now they just call him Dead Dave. They call another guy Thong Man, and that is because apparently the wife, this guy's wife who's telling us the nicknames, a parcel arrived on their doorstep that wasn't from them, and they opened it up and it was a pleather thong. And then they've obviously had to go up the road and give the box back and say, I think you're missing this. So now Thong Man lives at number 69, I'm guessing.
What?
A pleather thong, which is what I wore to Australian Fashion Week yesterday.
Cass, what's the nickname for the neighbour?
Hi, we've got a person who likes to break into our home and raid our pantry, so we call him Goldilocks.
Or the thief.
Are you serious?
You could use the word criminal if you want.
Are you mates with him though, Cass?
No. And the police say he's harmless.
Well, he's a criminal, though.
This is exactly what we say. So when it actually happened about 5 years ago, I was sitting on the front veranda checking my emails, having my cup of tea one morning. And when I went to go back inside, noticed that there was curried rice down the hallway and thought, damn kids, they've fed the dogs curry, and I was cursing. And it wasn't until 7 o'clock that night when my daughter came home and went to her room and started screaming. He'd eaten the curried rice in her bed, climbed through her window while I was on the front veranda.
Sounds harmless to me.
And he'd locked me out.
You need to do something about this.
Immediately.
We have called the police because he'll come and eat from our bins. My neighbour will send a message, Goldilocks is on the loose, close your gate. We call the police all the time. And there's like, it's Joel. They call him Joel, but we call him Goldilocks. And he's harmless. But, he's not harmless if I meet him in the hallway.
Yeah, no,
in
that
my
freaks
home.
you out.
No, he's not.
No, your kids
Or when
are
he's
there.
lying in your daughter's bed eating curry.
Yeah, I could not get her back in that bedroom for a week.
Funny that.
Gosh, all right.
Okay, guys, this is a really big moment for the show because last night on the email it went back, wait till we tell Whipper what his nickname is behind his back. So let's get a drum roll for Kate's.
Have a beep ready, Jess.
Here we go. What bullying have you got for this morning?
I've got to find the message. Sorry, guys. These aren't great. Because these are the things we would say to you. Like the big rig, that's a good one.
That's not it.
The beast from the east.
That's not it.
Whipper the double dipper.
What does that mean?
Well, you work
Carmichael
it out,
Hunt.
mate. You know.
Sorry, mate.
That's great.
Is it?
No, and my favourite is Whopper. I mean, yeah, but you know that one, so it's not really fair.
Thank you, Kate Ritchie, and thank you, Ryan James Fitzgerald.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Had a beautiful weekend, guys.
Share.
Got out of town.
Share.
Went down to Victoria, and I've realised I don't really know, and this is so sad, I don't really know Victoria very well. I've travelled to Melbourne so many times over the years, and it's embarrassing when I start speaking to people from Melbourne where my knowledge of Melbourne is really just the Logies and staying at South Bank.
Just fly down for awards, dude.
Oh, Melbourne's so great.
You grab the gold and come home, mate.
Great food and coffee, and you get your makeup done and go to the Logies. And I know there's much more to Victoria than that.
You messaged saying I had the best coffee of my entire life.
I did, at a place called The Store on Phillip Island.
Yeah, right.
Phillip Island. So that's a couple of hours out of Melbourne, is that correct?
It did. It took a couple of hours to drive there from the airport. And I wanted to go down and see the little penguins.
Oh, the fairy penguin.
Oh, so the penguins come out of the ocean just on dark and they kind of waddle up and it's all very cute. And we partly we did that because my daughter has Pengy, who is this incredible soft toy. And
gotcha.
I could fill you in on the journey of Pengy. This is Pengy number 2 because the first Pengy was left at the mother-in-law's house and then apparently put in the mail and then never arrived.
Lenny's still got Porcupine and Foxy.
Really?
Yeah.
Good team.
So we took Pengy to meet the penguins.
And he's 19 now, which is a bit weird.
Oh, we've all got a soft toy we fancy,
bit weird
don't
with
we?
his first girlfriend.
But it was really amazing. Stayed at some beautiful accommodation, which was kind of, it felt like you were a million miles from anywhere.
Oh, that's beautiful. Give me one fact you learnt about a penguin.
They come out of the ocean and then they spend a lot of time spreading the oil on their feathers. Spreading the oil all over their feathers so that they can insulate and protect themselves. And then they come...
Canola, or what are they using?
No, it comes out of a gland.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, and so they cover themselves in it and then they burrow in under the ground. And then on Phillip Island, because it's a conservation area, national park, they stay in these like little houses and sometimes they've swum 50 kilometres to get...
Big swim, mate.
To the and also there are no foxes on Phillip Island.
Okay.
So that's why the penguin and also the Cape Berry goose are back from the brink of extinction.
Okay. Thank
Incredible.
you so much.
I bought some tea towels.
Good news.
Oh, wow. Big, huge weekend for Kate.
Pull your head in.
I got 2 Phillip, and the thing is now you've even ruined my tea towel buying experience because I bought 2 tea towels and all I could think of is you guys thinking, oh, how sad, she's so sad. But I've got 2 Phillip Island tea towels.
Wow.
And then I got a Melbourne tea towel with a tram on it.
Oh, you got,
so beautiful.
You got 2 from Switzerland from me last week.
Oh, I did. I didn't mention those because they'll have to, you said I have to put them on the story. So I haven't had time to do that.
Did you get us anything? Did we get it?
This story. And I haven't even started it yet. So, you know how you hear all these horror stories about people risking their lives to get the perfect photograph?
Yeah.
Well, I'm lucky to be here today.
What did you do?
I nearly died on Phillip Island at 5 Acres. And imagine if it had ended like that. In some ways, it would have been perfect. I would have been on acreage in the middle of nowhere where no one was bothering me with my daughter. I mean, it's practically Kate Ritchie heaven. And so I'm checking out the farm that we're staying on, and the family that live there are just so lovely, and little Oscar's showing us around. And they had those amazing Highland cattle, right?
Oh, yeah. With the fringe.
With the fringe, so cute.
Fringe and horns. Yeah.
I'm leaning in, like it's all, about the gram. I haven't even put this photo up, but I will show it to you in a second. Because it's not even a great photo. It's not a great photo, but I could be dead. I was leaning so far into the fence because you couldn't go into the actual paddock because there was one female, one male, and I think he gets a bit cranky. Leaning so far into the fence that all of a sudden, as I'm leaning to try and get the perfect shot, I don't know what happened, but I was electrocuted because it was an electric fence. Have a look at the photo that I got.
It's amazing.
It's a great photo. Yeah,
I mean, it's perfect. Would you put that on the gram?
Yeah, it looks shaky because you've been zapped on the back of the neck. Where did the fence line get you?
Well, in my hand, because I'm doing
your hand,
this.
yeah, right.
I know people listening, but I'm leaning in.
You're leaning over. It's a little
zap.
No, it's not.
It's pulsating.
No, it's not. Yeah. But you know what the scary thing is that I realised?
Yep.
That I must have so much pain in my life. For probably 3 seconds.
What happened?
I didn't even notice I was being electrocuted. And I thought,
what's this weird feeling?
And then the woman, Katie, she said, you're being
your eyes are hanging out of your head.
Electrocuted. I said, you better be careful. I'll be out here in the middle of the night jumping on that fence.
Won't be the last time.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.